Reverend David Wilkerson warned that the economy of Germany will collapse. Is that starting to happen? Michael Snyder reports, yes, it is starting to happen. An obsession with green energy has the German economy on the brink of collapse. Germany has foolishly been chasing a dream of achieving net greenhouse gas neutrality by 2045, and this has taken a very heavy toll on the German economy. German GDP contracted in 2023, and it appears it will be contracting again in 2024. The manufacturing sector is dealing with the greatest crisis that it has faced since the 1940s. Of course, that's the Second World War. The big banks are struggling, and the coalition that was running the government has collapsed. Did David Wilkerson see what was going to happen all the way back in the 1970s? Something that Steve Grail posted the other day got me thinking, and so I decided to look into it. In Wilkerson's book entitled The Vision, he stated that he was shown economic confusion striking Europe first during a period of great economic turmoil for the whole world. In a subsequent sermon, he was even more specific. In fact, in that sermon, he specifically stated that the collapse that he saw would start in Germany. To give some background first in his book, The Vision, at the beginning of chapter 1, Wilkerson states, I see total economic confusion striking Europe first, and then affecting Japan, the United States, Canada, and all other nations shortly thereafter. So the economic collapse begins in Europe. There is a slightly different version of this which is circulating on various sites on the internet, usually titled David Wilkerson's Economic Vision. This is the one you quoted, where he narrates how the collapse starts in Europe, spreading to South America, then Mexico, then the United States. Notice he again mentions Europe first and then later the first country that goes bankrupt, but does not identify the country. Well, I did some more digging and found this audio sermon by Wilkerson. At exactly 2.03, he states it's going to start in Germany. After that, he says it will spread to Japan and finally to the United States. And you can actually listen to the David Wilkerson video where he says these things with your own ears in the YouTube video here in the link in the article. Could it be possible that what Wilkerson warned us about so many years ago is starting to happen right in front of our eyes? For the past few years, Germany's economic performance has been absolutely horrible. The world's third largest economy has lagged the European Union average since 2021 and is expected to shrink for the second year running in 2024, making it the worst performer among the group of 7 major economies. According to an article that was posted on ABC's News, there are several reasons why the German economy has been struggling so deeply. German industry still has not fully recovered from the shocks of the COVID-19 pandemic. Then came Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, which led Germany and other Western countries to cut themselves off from Russian gas and oil. Competition from China, including its electric vehicles, has meanwhile forced Germany and other European car makers to lower production and lay off workers. Of course, that article did not even mention the radical green agenda that Germany has implemented, but many are convinced that it is the primary factor for the economic decline that we have been witnessing. At one time, Volkswagen was an unstoppable economic powerhouse, but now it's talking about closing factories and laying off its workers in Germany. Nothing better encapsulates the negativity gripping Germany that was less than what's happening at Volkswagen, the biggest employer in Europe, largest economy. The spillover effect and the crisis at Volkswagen, which is looking to shut down as many as 3 factories in Germany. The first ever shuttering of units in its 87-year history is showing up in the fractures in Germany's politics now widening to a chasm. BASF is another German industrial plant that is facing major problems that would have been unthinkable just a few short years ago. BASF, for instance, a flagship of Germany's industrial sector since 1865, symbolizes the nation's manufacturing strength. With nearly 400 production sites across 80 countries, its heart remains in Ludwigshafen, Germany, where it operates a vast complex with 200 plants and employs around 39,000 people. However, this hub has recently become a focal point for BASF's challenges. Over the past 2 years, the company has shut down one of its 2 ammonia units and idled several others at this location due to their lack of competitiveness, resulting in the loss of 2,500 jobs, explains Chemical and Engineering News. BASF also experienced a significant decline in 2023, with sales dropping by 21.1% and adjusted earnings plunging by 60.1%. Adding to these woes, BASF recently announced plans to cut costs by an additional $1.1 billion in Ludwigshafen, foreshadowing further job cuts. In my entire lifetime, we have never seen anything like this happen to Germany. The politicians are desperate to turn things around, and a conflict about how to do that has resulted in the collapse in Germany's ruling coalition. Germany's governing coalition has collapsed after disagreements over the country's weak economy led Chancellor Olaf Scholz to sack his finance minister. Christian Lindner's dismissal prompted him to withdraw his Free Democratic Party FDP from a coalition with Scholz's Social Democratic Party SPD, leaving Scholz in a minority government with the Green Party. Scholz said he would now call a confidence vote for January 15, which, if he lost, could allow elections to be held by the end of March next year, 6 months earlier than the elections planned for September 2025. We shall see whether there is an election in March or not. But meanwhile, there is fear that the collapse of the government will deal another blow to consumption and investment in coming months. The coalition collapse is likely to deal another blow to consumption and investment in coming months, already poised to decline, with a third of German companies indicating in a recent survey plans to scale it back. In combination with the Trump win, economic confidence is likely to drop significantly and make a contraction of the economy in the fourth quarter more likely, said Carsten Brisky, global head of macroeconomics at ING. I do believe that governmental instability will accelerate the economic problems that the Germans have been experiencing, and as more German businesses fail, I would watch the big banks very carefully. They have been on shaky ground for years, and it won't take much to start pushing them over the edge. Germany possesses the largest and most important economy in the entire European Union, and so once the German economy implodes, the rest of the EU will feel an immense amount of pain as well. Wilkerson warned that the crisis would spread from Europe to Japan and then to the United States, and as I have warned for many years, it won't be too long before the entire world is gripped by unprecedented economic turmoil. So let's keep a close eye on Germany. I think that something is up. This is by Michael Snyder on The End of the American Dream. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. About the author, Michael Snyder's new book, Why, is available on paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 8 other books available on Amazon, including Chaos, End Times, 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophets in the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work that he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News, and he always freely, happily allows others to republish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior. today. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.